I asked about Javon Kinlaw,
Hmm.
and to me, the answer he gave about Kinlaw was way different than what he said about Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson, basically saying like, yeah, he's starting to get it, what it takes to be a pro. With Javon Kinlaw, he didn't say anything like that. He's like, man, the guy is finally having his first full off season in the NFL. Like
Yeah,
that's a big deal for him. I mean, obviously the
it
knee is an
is.
issue, but it sounds like he's healthy now. And
Hmm.
he also was a project. He came into the league with high pad level, like D'Amico talked about it. And you'd think like maybe that's something he could fix away from the field, but I don't think so. I think you need to be in practice every day, doing it correctly. And he hasn't had the opportunity. There was a pandemic. He got a knee surgery. I mean, like he hasn't been in
Yeah.
practice in these off seasons. So now he is. It's possible if his knee holds up that he could make strides because it's not like you have to. You've seen him with his shirt off. It's not like you have to worry about him eating Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I really like Javon because whenever you hear him talk, you could see how bad he wants it. You can see just how bad he wants to play. And I understand that that doesn't really amount to anything. Everybody wants to play. But he was a first round pick. And it does feel good. I feel like, in a way, not only does he want to prove himself, but I feel like, in a way, he feels like he's indebted to the development that he has gotten from the 49ers. The 49ers took a pick on him. And I do feel like he has been calibrating, trying to figure out the consistency of the knee, right? I feel like there were setbacks with the knee, then it got a little healthy, and then now we're into a point where he's gotten to the point where he's calibrated his weight in order to make sure that the knee can stay sustained for over
Right.
a longer period of time.
Right.
I don't think that
Yeah.
Javon on his face. All right, so Javon without the knee.
Yeah.
Javon is a very good player
Yeah.
without the knee.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I do see Javon get in trouble on the field, it's technique issues where he is relying on just how god awful big and strong he is, and he
Right.
needs to keep his pad level low. That's something
Right.
that reps can take care of. But
Right.
also there are plays and instances that I've seen from Javon where when you get a player that you're expecting to play as much and he doesn't, and he's so big, you almost get frustrated when he's not Tarzan on the field,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And he's not showing that type of strength that we see all the time.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of that stuff is because Javon has been playing hurt. He's been
Right.
trying his best to
Yeah.
do the best with a knee that's just not been cooperating with him.
Right.
And this is a locker room or a team where sharks are born swimming. We don't just hang on to nobodies. That is not
Mhm.
this team, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
the fact that one of our colonel coaches, who is probably one of the most important coaches that we have, is wrapping his arm around him and sees encouraging signs from Javon. That's promising, right? Because if you think about it, if Javon is what he's supposed to be, we don't have to go get Javon Hargraves. We don't have to go do that,
Right.
right?
Right.
So right now, I feel like they got him. If we're talking from a coaching perspective, they got him right where they want him. They got him
Yeah.
humble,
It's true.
hungry, and
In
ready
a
to play.
contract year,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they got, like, if we're talking about the coaching side of it, we got
Right.
him. We got him right where we want him.
And it's
Right?
like he's got a lot in common with Trey Lance in the sense that maybe he was overdrafted a little bit. You know, the organization put a ton of expectations on him. This guy was
And it
supposed
was
to
an
replace
apology.
DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
followed
mean,
default. That's not fair.
yeah. So he was put in a tough situation. Like, did Javon Kinlaw fail or did he just get injured? I mean, did Trey Lance fail or did he just get injured? Like, and so now you get into this year where you're a first round pick and you're approaching the end of your rookie contract and you haven't done what you wanted to do and you're like a disappointment, but at the same time you're still here and you've kind of gotten written off, but you're still here, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're healthy and you're in camp every day. It's like your story's not over yet. You haven't. So I'm curious to see what Javon does this year. Like, he could randomly be super important and durable for them this year.
You
Out of
never
nowhere.
know
You
what
never
tool
know.
you pull for
Yeah.
in the middle of. You never know. So
Right?
and
No one thought
again,
Brock Purdy was going to bail this team out last year. Who's going to bail him out this year? Could be Javon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy for Javon because I feel like the only thing that's been in his way is that knee, and that basically it. I think he's ready.
Yeah, like when I saw him in one-on-ones, like going back to his rookie year, I could tell he wasn't winning them. And I felt like I didn't want to write him off. I was like, okay, so this is a guy who doesn't have much pass rushing technique, but he's got Chris Kasarik. So all he needs is time on task. Just give him a bunch of practices in a row, but he's never had that. And that's what Chris Kasarik was talking about. He didn't have the full off season his rookie year because of the pandemic. Then he had knee surgery and missed it his second year. Then he had a setback and missed it his third year. Like, you're just not going to improve in those situations.
Right.
Now he has an opportunity to do it.
I agree. And there's a player comparison for Javon Kinlaw, Kentavious Street, which was another big, strong guy that we really were depending on to do big things for us, but he can never get healthy.
Right. And that's the guy that was injured when they took him. It was like you knew what you were getting into.
Same thing.
Eyes wide open.
Injured when he took him. So we've done
But that's before. Where you take an injured player. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You put so much pressure on a young player when you overdraft him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So much. I mean, I bet Kinlaw's in therapy. We know Trey's in therapy.
Yeah.
You put your player in therapy when you overdraft him.
I mean,
because he's the one that deals with the pressure.
And then you're building plausible deniability with the fake quarterback competition with one guy injured, one guy coming off an injury, and a retread who's learning the offense. But it's a competition. Stop. Stop.
And you have your offensive line coach saying it's really important for us to tell our young, inexperienced starters on the O-line, no one over your shoulder. Rock with you till the wheels fall off. I mean, you have the O-line coach saying it, and Brian Griese can't figure that out. Clint Kubiak can't figure that out. Kyle Shanahan can't figure that out. At the most important position, the logic is the same. Those are the two most important. Those are the two most difficult positions to play on offense.
All three of them boys is built-in excuses for this coaching staff.
That's right. That's right. They're in a position this year if they show out and win, a lot. They're like, wow, look what we did with a ridiculous quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Or
and what
we had a ridiculous quarterback situation.
And what they'll do is they'll trot him out there, they'll struggle, and then they'll throw him to us to kill. They'll throw them to us to rip the shreds.
And all the content creators. Yep.
And
because there's all these camps. There's all these camps. There's the Brock camp, the Sam camp, the Trey camp, and every camp's waiting for their guy to get a chance. They'll defend him. Then the other camps will attack him. Yeah. And again, it's so no one goes after the coach.
Yeah. It's a bait and switch. And nobody's ever going to say, wait a minute. Aren't you the genius?
Yeah.
Hold on. So when do you let us know what you did? Why are you throwing? Well, I'm not the expert. I feel like 49ers fans should just let Kyle answer the quarterback question. We should just stop having segments on who do you think the starter is. Kyle should know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not a pro.
You tell me, Kyle. You're the one in practice every day. Yeah. Because what he's telling us is he doesn't know. It's either Brock Purdy or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We spent 3 first-round picks for a kid. We got a guy in the 7th round, and then we just picked up another kid. And Kyle told us that, by week 1, the kid that's hurt should be ready. And the other 2 kids I think they're competing for quarterback 2. But we got a window, bro. We're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Because quarterback doesn't matter. I'm the quarterback.
Kyle Shanahan's the starting quarterback of this
Just
team.
think of me as the quarterback.
It's this that my frustration is coming from the fact that it's just disingenuous. And it's a low-hanging fruit argument. It's divisive. It has us against people arguing with each other about stuff that really shouldn't have anything to do with us. We shouldn't have to bear this burden. We don't get paid millions.
We have content creators ending friendships and working relationships over this quarterback thing that Kyle Shanahan started. Kyle Shanahan is indirectly ending friendships. It's his fault.
He's just, all I'm saying is just man, he's got to risk his biscuit, man. No more of this. I'm sitting back to weigh the issues because with more options, Kyle Shanahan is such an operator of his off. No.
Pick
it
one.
Don't work that way.
Pick one.
You need to, attach your
and again, the whole thing with the quarterbacks and the offensive linemen, the reason you need to pick one and say no one's over your shoulder and we're rocking with you till the wheels fall off is because it's such a difficult position to play. Really, young players shouldn't be good at it in the NFL. So where you have to have a ton of confidence to even have a chance to be good at those positions. So it doesn't help to have the coach set up a situation that just erodes your confidence before you even start. Hey, we don't really believe in you, so go see what you got.
These are the coaches, those head coaching and quarterback tandems. Is Kyle gonna? Let's just look at history. Is Kyle better than Bill Walsh?
Is he ever going to tie himself to a quarterback for 10 years?
Tom
No.
Landry,
No.
Don Shula, Tony Dungy, Mike Tomlin, who we see week 1.
Yeah.
So
what
if
great
you're gonna
quarterback
talk-
is constantly shuffling through? What great coach is constantly shuffling through quarterbacks?
Who's doing it?
Who does
Who's
it?
doing it?
Now, Joe Gibbs did it like 40 years ago and won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different coaches, but I don't know. Kyle's not Joe Gibbs. And Joe Gibbs couldn't do it anymore. No one's done it anymore.
That's
No one
the
does it.
exception, not the
Yeah.
rule.